guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be going over all the things that sold super fast in my closet for the month of January on Poshmark. And today is actually towards the end of January, but the whole month is not over yet. But I just thought I wanted to show you guys basically anything that has sold in under a week in my closet to give you guys an idea when you're outsourcing, what to be looking for, and what is selling quickly for me on the app. So if that sounds interesting, then just keep watching. Okay, so I did want to give you guys a super quick update right before we get into this. I did change my closet name on Poshmark to The Deal Queen, so it's easier for you guys to find, and I'm trying to really get my brand all cohesive and on point, so I tried to change my name on Poshmark to match everything else, so it should be easier for you guys to find me. And if you do not follow me on Instagram, I'm also The Deal Queen on Instagram, so it should be more easy to find me on all platforms. So if you guys want to go check out my store, it will be linked down below. But let's go ahead and get into this. I'm just basically gonna go backwards. So from the most recent sale to the oldest sale in January that has sold in under a week. And I'm gonna try to give you guys just a little bit of information about the sale. So the first thing that sold in under a week would be these Athleta Street to Summit navy tights. And these are some really cute, they're basically like some athletic, like workout, they're not exactly leggings, but kind of like pants. They're like fleece lined, they were super cute, and those just sold today for $35, and I listed those I think almost a week ago. So they were listed about a week, but they sold relatively quickly. The next item is a pair of Sam Edelman Camo heels, which I actually just sourced these 2 days ago. I listed them yesterday and they sold today. So this was a super fast sale, and I've seen these sell a few other times, so I definitely pick up Sam Edelman whenever I can, just because I find that it sells super fast and typically for pretty good money, especially if you can get some like more recent current pairs. Yeah, but this pair did sell super fast within 2 days of listing, so that was really awesome. And they sold for, again, $50. Okay, so next up is an Anthropology Tallulah dress, and this was a midi dress. It was extremely beautiful. I had a feeling this one would sell quickly just because it's super unique. It's not an anthro piece you're gonna see a lot, and it had like kind of an asymmetrical hem on it. It was really pretty, 100% silk, and it sold for $120 within 2 hours of listing. So it was a super fast sale. I also picked this up over the weekend, so this was a recent item that I sourced, and also a recent obviously listed item. But yeah, it did sell for $120 very quickly on the app. So I definitely would recommend looking for recent and current, very unique looking anthro pieces, because those sell the best for me of all anthro pieces. I feel like the basics don't do as great for me, but anything that's super unique, I feel like a lot of anthro collectors are looking for those more unique items. So yes, that one sold super fast. Okay, so this next item was pretty unique, and I was actually really excited to find it because this was actually thrifted and it was new with tags, so that was an awesome find. And I want to say this one sold within 4 days. I want to say it was either 4 or 5 days of listing. But this is a cabbie, new with tags. It's kind of like a jumpsuit, but it has like this cutout in the back. So it's like a play suit. It has a hood, and it kind of looks like a top tucked into some sweatpants, but it's actually all one piece. But this piece sold for $80 within a week. So this was a super good find. It was a thrifted find. I paid up just a little bit for it because it was new with tags, but I still sell cabbie all the time, and I think it's like one of my fastest moving brands. So I definitely am glad that I picked this one up because I did have to pay up just a little bit for it, but it was really unique and cool, so I had a feeling that it would sell pretty fast. Alright, so next up, I've been hearing a lot about this brand, and I see it sometimes, but it's always super expensive. But I picked up this pair of A Gold E jeans. I think that's how you say it. It's either that or A Gold. I'm not exactly sure, but they separate the letters, so I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but it's a more contemporary denim line, and it is super expensive retail. It's definitely like a designer denim type price point. And these retailed for $148, and the buyer came in with an offer of $85 on these. I had them listed for $95, and she offered me $85, I believe within 3 days of listing. So this was also another super fast item that sold like lightning fast, and also for really great profit, so that was great. And these were also size 25, so these are super small size. I sell small sizes all the time, so please don't like look over small sizes just because of you're scared that they're not gonna sell or whatever. I feel like there's a market for every single size on Poshmark, so I'm not scared to pick up the smaller sizes, and these did sell super fast, so I'm super glad that I picked them up. And I actually ended up picking up another pair of these in a size 24, so we're gonna see how that goes as well. But these were a retail arbitrage find. Okay, so next up is an Athleta piece, and I've been picking up a ton of sports and athletic wear just because it is selling lightning fast. It's a new year, people are working out, and totally something you should be picking up if you're not currently looking at that. But especially Athleta, Lululemon, and Tallulah, and things like that, I'm really looking for those things right now. And this was a Goodwill find. This was an Athleta Serenity crisscross sweatshirt. I believe I had this listed a little bit higher because the comps were kind of all over the place for this particular piece, and it seems like something that people are really looking for. But I had this listed for $55, and she offered me $35, and I went ahead and accepted her offer because this was a more basic piece. And this sold, I believe, in under 4 days, so it was not listed very long at all. It got a lot of attention. People were really liking it and sharing it, so I was happy for this to sell for $35, and I still had a good profit margin on it, so I listed it a little bit on the high side in order to accept offers and kind of see how well it did. The next pair of shoes that I sold was a pair of Vagabond silver platform chunky sandals, and I picked these up again also for style. This brand is very expensive, and it's kind of like a super trendy kind of edgy kind of style, but I've never sold these before, so I wasn't exactly sure how they would do. But this style with like the super chunky platform heel is very in style right now, and so that's why I wanted to try them. These were also thrifted, and I was really surprised to see them in such good condition at the thrift store. But these sold for $50. I believe I had them listed for $60, and she offered me $50, and this was another 5-star with a love note. So this was a super quick sale with a great feedback, and I was super excited to find those. All right, next up is a Nuit Sam Edelman patent crossbody bag, and I don't normally pick up these type of items just because Sam Edelman, I definitely think they're known for their shoes, and so I think when brands that are known for one thing kind of try to branch out, it's sometimes harder for them to do well in those categories. So I'm pretty selective about what I pick up from like Sam Edelman and Vince Camuto as far as bags. But this one was really cute, and I also got a really good deal on it, so that is actually why I picked it up. It was really good style, and I liked kind of like the unique studded front part of it that has the logo. So this one sold for $45 within a week. So I think this was probably 5 days or so that it was listed, and it sold pretty fast. And I was actually impressed by how fast it sold because I was thinking it might sit for a little bit, but it sold for $45 on best offer. I think I had it listed for $55, and she offered me $45, and that one got 5 stars and a love note. So yeah, that was a really good sale, and I was super happy about it. The next item, this actually sold within a day. I think this might have been like 12 hours or so after I listed it. But this was a Torrid yellow floral peplum one piece, and this sold super fast and also got a ton of attention. I'm talking like way more than your average swimsuit. Well, first of all, this is super cute, but second of all, plus sizes obviously always do super well, and Torrid is one of my best-selling plus size brands, so if I see it in good condition, I normally do pick it up. I like something that's a little bit more substantial, like a dress or a jacket or something, but this swimsuit was like really cute. I'm talking like one of the cutest swimsuits I've seen in a while, and this was pre-owned from a thrift store, so it definitely was a little bit risky just because I don't pick up a ton of used swimwear, but this sold super fast. It was in great condition, and it sold for $29 lightning fast. So yeah, definitely would pick that up again. I love Torrid and normally do pick it up when I see it. Okay, so the next item was also thrifted. This was a pair of Lucky Brand Suede French booties, and these sold for $40 on best offer. I believe I had them listed for $50. She offered me $40 and I accepted, and these were listed for about 4 or 5 days, so I love picking up Lucky Brand, especially the booties. The clothing moves pretty slowly for me unless it's like an awesome pair of jeans or a jacket or something like that, but usually pick up the shoes if they're a booty. Normally they sell very fast for me as well. The next item was a pair of Vineyard Vines whale shorts, and I believe these sold within 2 hours of listing, so these were super fast. These were also thrifted, and these sold for $25. I had them listed for $35. They offered me $25, and I did accept their offer just because I love getting an offer within a super quick time frame of listing, and I love giving a great deal if it means moving my inventory lightning fast. So that was a great listing, and I'm pretty selective about Vineyard Vines. I feel like it's kind of hit or miss for me, but the more classic looking pieces with like the logo and stuff on it typically do pretty well, so I did pick these up. All right, the next item was something that I do not normally pick up, but there were a couple of reasons why I picked this up, and I wanted to kind of explain this listening to you guys. So Sanctuary is not a super popular brand. They sell it at a variety of different places, but I picked these up because A, they were size 16, and they're also a really cool like utility style, and they had the raw hem on the bottom, and they were in like new condition. So I really picked them up based on size and style and not necessarily on brand. I believe I had these listed for $45. She offered me $35, and they sold in under a week. So sometimes I do pick things up just based on style alone and not necessarily based on the brand. I would pick these up again, but just if it was something like identical to these, I probably would not branch out on this brand and try any other pieces. But I did really like those pants, and anything in a size 16 or plus size, I'm more inclined to pick up just because those do really move quickly for me. So that's why I grabbed them. Okay, so sticking with the athletic theme, this was a pair of Lululemon Dance Studio 2 pants, and this is a very popular style from what I understand. I've never seen them before, which is why I have never picked them up, but I believe these sold for full price within 3 days of listing, and these sold for $60. These were gray, and again, Lululemon is very popular. I'm sure all of you guys already know that if you're watching this video, but Lululemon pants and jackets do great, especially if it's something a little bit more unique or something that a lot of people are looking for. Of course, it's gonna sell quickly, and it's also January and people are trying to get in shape. So again, really looking at athletic wear right now, and it's just super popular. So yeah, sold for $60. Okay, so this next sale is probably one of my favorite sales ever just because I was so excited to find this, and also it sold super fast for an awesome profit margin, so I was just so excited about it. I actually found this Coach Gingham check trench coat at Goodwill, and it sold for $250 within 5 hours of listing. And the reason that it sold so fast is because this is a pretty rare style. I was looking on eBay and Poshmark. I Googled this item, and it was really nowhere to be found. And it's also super cute. Gingham is pretty in style right now, and with spring coming up, I knew this was gonna be a killer item. This jacket retails for $575, and it sold on best offer for $250 the same day. So I was super thrilled by this sale, and that doesn't happen very often. So of course I was super excited. All right, my next item is another athletic item. I know we're sticking with that theme for January, but this is a new Zella Cherish wrap cardigan, and Zella is a pretty cool athletic brand. I believe they sell at Nordstrom, and this sold on best offer for $50, and this was another 5 stars with a love note, so you really can't go wrong. This was just really cute. It kind of has this wrap detail, and you can button it at the shoulder, and Zella is a really great athletic brand, and I do like picking up like Zella and Fabletics and the lesser known, I guess, athletic brands that are still pretty popular and have a good following. So that one sold for $50. Okay, so this next item, this is something I don't believe I've ever sold on Poshmark before. I did sell it on eBay a few times, but this was a really pretty dress, and I picked it up because of the style and the fact that it was really nice. And then I also picked it up because it is a plus size, but this brand is something that you can customize online from what I understand. So you can go on and you can select the sleeve length, you can select a lot of different customizable parts of the dress, and they also build, I believe that they build like custom dresses, so you can actually kind of build your own dress. So this brand seems really popular. It did pretty well for me on eBay when I was still selling over there, but this sold within 1 day. This was an E-Shakti blue floral tie waist maxi dress. It was very pretty. The print was really good. And this sold on best offer for $45, and then after fees, of course, I'm left with $36. But this was just really pretty, and if it kind of like matches my store, but it's not necessarily like Poshmark brand, I do typically pick it up and just test it out and see how it does, and this one sold super fast. Okay, the next pair of shoes was another pair of Sam Edelmans. You guys know I sell them all the time, one of my favorite brands to sell, and I do see them quite a bit, so I do pick them up when I see them. This was a pair of black suede penny loafers, and these are a little more classic of a style, so I was kind of debating on whether I wanted to get them or not, but they seem to be a pretty popular style. So these actually sold within, I believe, like 5 hours of listing. They sold super, super fast, and these sold for $35 on best offer. I think I had them listed for $45. She offered me $35, and I accepted her offer and got 5 stars and a love note. So I really can't go wrong with selling something that fast and getting great feedback. So really good sale there. The next item was a Nuit Tags Jules striped floral jersey top, and if you guys are not familiar with this brand, it's super cute, but it's kind of like a southern, sort of like resort wear type brand, and I see it, they sell it at Dillard's, and so when I'm in there, I kind of like look through the stuff because I think the styles are super cute, but I've never seen it thrifting. I don't know why that is, if it's relatively new or people hold on to these pieces or what, but I went into a thrift store that I don't normally go in, and this was Nuit Tags on the rack, so I was like, I really want to try this brand out and we'll see how it does. So I had it listed for $35. She offered me $27 and I accepted her offer, and she left me 5 stars and one of the nicest love notes I've ever gotten. So I was super excited to find it and really excited that it sold within, I think, 1 day. So very cool sale, and I was excited about the feedback. Okay, this next sale was pretty interesting because this is something I would not normally pick up. These pieces are usually really pretty, so I end up picking them up and looking at them, but I don't necessarily list them. But this one was definitely an exception, and I think the reason that this one sold is because I posted a photo of this on Instagram because it was just that great. But this brand is called Latiste. It's a very like expensive boutique brand, and I see it quite a bit, but it's like, I don't know, it's kind of one of those things that I don't pick up just because I don't think it has the best resale value. But the reason that I picked this one up is because it was just literally stunning. So the top was completely embroidered, and then the bottom was kind of like this tie-dye, like ombre layered effect, and it was super pretty, and it was also Nuit Tags at Goodwill. So I was like, I have to get this and at least test it out just because it is such a beautiful piece. So after I posted that on Instagram, it sold within 30 minutes of listing for $50. So it was a really good pickup. I probably would not pick this brand up again, but I did pick up this particular piece based on style. So if you see something that really catches your eye and it's not necessarily a great brand, I still would suggest maybe tossing it up and seeing how it does if you can get it for a great price. Okay, next up is a Lululemon Influx zip-up jacket, and this was actually a Goodwill find, which anytime I find Lululemon at Goodwill, it is a great day. That does not happen to me very often. I feel like people really hang on to their Lululemon pieces. So especially a jacket, I was super excited to find it. And this actually had a couple of little spots on it, and I ended up washing it and they came out perfectly. I don't know if the owner of the jacket just didn't think that the stains would come out or what, but I threw it in the wash and it was in perfect condition afterwards. This was a Lululemon Influx jacket and it sold for $60. I think I had it listed a little bit higher and I took a lower offer on it because after looking at comps again, I thought that was a pretty fair offer. So she did leave me 5 stars and it sold in under a week. All right, so the next item is a Nuit Tags Athleta drip drop jacket, and I think it's kind of like a rain jacket material. It was really cool. It has a foldable hood that you can like zip up inside of this little compartment on the back. And this was a thrifted Nuit Tags find, so that was awesome. And when I looked at the comps on this jacket, looks like it does really well. Almost all of the comps were around $100, so I listed it pretty high and accepted a best offer of $95, and this was 5 stars with a love note, so this sold in under a week. Okay, so next up is a Madison and Berkeley Kiss sweatshirt. I don't think that this brand is anything particularly special. I think it's a boutique brand, but this was actually from my personal closet. I got this as a gift and it really didn't fit me correctly, so I went ahead and listed it and it sold for $20 within a week of listing. I think it was about 3 days. So that was a pretty good sale, and it was from my personal closet and it was a gift, so it was free to me, and I was just happy to have it move on to a new home. And I do like cleaning out my own closet pretty much every quarter. The next thing is a pair of Corks leather lace-up ankle booties, and I got these at Goodwill. These sold for $30 on best offer, and they sold in under a week. And then let's move on to our final 2 items. So this next item, I feel kind of guilty about this because this was in my death pile for a very long time because it was missing the interior tag. I knew that it was authentic because the brand was printed on the zippers. So I went ahead and listed it and noted this in the description and made sure the buyer knew exactly what they were getting and that the tag was not included inside this sweater. So I listed it and it sold on best offer for $85, and this brand is Acne and it typically sells extremely well. I probably should have listed it a lot sooner, but I was unsure about it just because I didn't really know if I wanted to list it without the tag or if I wanted to try to send it into a different site to try to sell it that way. But I went ahead and listed it on Poshmark and it did sell for $85 even without the tag. So it sold, I believe, within 2 days and it was a great sale. So list your death pile, people, don't be like me. All right, so for this last sale, I'm sharing this even though it doesn't really fit in this video and I feel like it's a little bit unfair. I'm throwing it in there because I feel like I have to include it in at least one video because it's definitely the best sale I've ever made in my entire life, and it happened on January 2nd of 2019. So definitely a really great start to the year. But if you guys do not follow me on Instagram, a few weeks ago, I found what appeared to be an authentic Hermes belt, but I obviously wasn't sure because I really didn't think that anyone would donate that kind of item. So I actually paid an authentication site that I will link down below called Real Authentication that is absolutely amazing, a great service to use if you find anything that you're not sure about authenticity. And I actually paid to have this item authenticated. I paid $2 for it at Goodwill, and I paid $15 to have it authenticated, and it sold on Poshmark for $800 in about 2 weeks. So let's just say I was so excited, I've been freaking out, and I actually had to send it to Poshmark to have it re-authenticated by PMHQ before it was shipped to the buyer because it was over $500. And after it actually got to the buyer, she did leave me 5 stars. So sometimes I wonder when these kinds of things happen, is this like a real person? Is this like a real buyer? I can't even imagine that this is my life. Like, that's how I was feeling. So I did end up selling it for $800. I got a 5-star rating on it and did get my funds from that. I would highly recommend that if you do find something, the odds of it being authentic when it is that expensive is so rare that please pay to have it authenticated. Send it into this service, send some photos to them, and have them look at it first before you ever list it. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'm sure you also know that I'm very against anything fake. I do not believe in selling counterfeits of any kind, and I was not going to list this belt at all until I knew 100% sure that this was authentic. And then after it did sell, of course, Poshmark did authenticate it again before it was shipped to the buyer. So this was a once in a lifetime, and I know I'm kind of cheating by including it in this video, but I felt like it really needed to be in at least one video and I had to include it. So that's my January. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, please give this a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel down below if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.